Hi, I'm Vahid Razavi with BizCloud. I'm here with Julie Colgan. Julie is the Director of Information Governance at Nuix and President of ARMA. Julie, thank you so much for your time today. Greatly appreciate meeting up with us at LegalTech. Wanted to understand, what is ARMA? What do you guys do?
So ARMA is a professional association focused on information governance. We do events and provide education and publications to encourage the professional development of practitioners in every industry across the world.
I see. There's usually about 30,000 or so record managers, is that correct?
We have about 30,000 members, and the membership is actually a pretty diverse membership. It comprises records managers from a traditional sense, but also we're seeing a lot of growth from folks in the legal area as well as IT, information security. So that's really what the information governance story is. It's exciting.
I see. So how does the job change from from the old record managers of yesterday to the information governance of today? What are the challenges that these record managers have to face now?
So, traditional records management was focused on the outputs of process, and that was paper-based for many, many years, right? Decades, in fact. So now, today, the challenge really is we need to manage all of our content, regardless of media or format. It's always been the case. It could have been a physical item or a document. It could have been, a punch card, for example. But today, we're talking about terabytes and petabytes of digital content sitting on spinning disks. So just because the format has changed doesn't mean that the requirement has changed. The challenge really is for records managers to learn to apply the really tried and true principles that we've built our profession on in these new areas. So that's really the challenge that we're working on today.
Now, you have a job at Nuix as Director of their Global Information Governance. What does that entail, actually, and how does Nuix enhance the work of people at ARMA?
Yeah, so Nuix's technology is really, really exciting from someone who is a practitioner in this space, right? I spent 15 years doing this work in the trenches, and really having the ability to create transparency with all of this content that's trapped in file shares and sitting there in email archives. Now I have the ability to use technologies like Nuix to illuminate it, to understand what it is, to then make some informed decisions on what to do with it, whether it's retain it, keep it, protect it in some other specialized repository. I now have that capability. So for records managers, I think now is the time where we can apply these tried and true principles to all of the content that our organizations have.
I see, Julie. Now, when it comes to records, what is an actual record? We get gazillion emails a day in our inbox. You get tons of spam boxes. What do you actually keep track of? And what is an actual record that's being kept at by these record managers?
Yeah, that's a great question. It's the great debate, and it won't ever stop. But an example that I like to use is email. So you might get an email that says, hey, you want to go do lunch on Tuesday. That's not a record. But it needs to be governed, right? You need to manage it. You don't want to just keep that forever. You want to make sure that you keep it at least until Tuesday so you remember to go to lunch. So that it has a transitory value, and then get rid of it. But what about an email that has, say, a contract, and you deliver it to your customer and say, here's the final contract? That's a record. It documents a business transaction. So when we think about evaluating content to identify record status, we look at the legal, historical, operational, and perhaps archival value of that content. And that's what justifies that extra layer of management that we call records management, right? So we have governance of all content and management of those things that are really specifically business records.
Wow, that's pretty impressive. It sounds pretty comprehensive as well in terms of what you have to look at. But the repositories of where these records are kept are now changing as well. You have the cloud repositories, you have various applications that are SaaS apps. Could you talk about maybe how Nuix helps in those different environments to capture the data and these records for the folks at ARMA?
Yeah, sure. So, you're right. There are silos of content all over organizations and now up in the cloud as well. And the records managers need to have access to all of that content regardless of where it is. So, again, products like Nuix allow you the ability to reach into these different repositories and understand the content where it lives before you go and spend money moving it to another location or perhaps informing investments in new products. It's really exciting.
Awesome. Well, Julie, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us this afternoon. Greatly appreciated, and best of luck to you.